People
Hello
who
and
could
welcome
control
back to my
fire
channel.
brought about a historic
Well, this channel is
change.
about
They
Russian
cooked
and
food
Ukrainian
and
updates
used
on
fire to
war.
forge iron.
This is a new
Using
videos
fire has been
which
one
have
of
been combined
humanity's
together.
greatest strengths ever
Enjoy
since.
and please
But
like and
Russia
subscribe.
cannot control fire.
For
Every
reference
day
purpose,
there
we
is
have
another
used
fire in
Anchor
Russia.
News.
Fires in Russia have become a major security problem. The latest fire in Russia caused a huge panic in the Kremlin, because this fire occurred in the Russian Ministry of Defense building. After this fire in one of Russia's most important institutions, Putin experienced great despair. As Anchor Daily News team, we investigated all the details about this fire for you. Let's start if you're ready. In fact, this fire was not the first, and it probably won't be the last. But it is known that this fire was the most important in Russia since the beginning of the war. Ever since Putin decided to invade Ukraine, Russia has been on fire. Putin cannot do anything to prevent these fires. All of these fires in Russia are at strategic points. One fire after another in Moscow has fed up the Russian people. Especially the fires in shopping centers are causing great damage to the Russian government. There are constant fires in shopping malls owned by oligarchs who support Putin. It is not a coincidence that these fires occur at the same time. Opponents of the war in Russia prefer this method to punish Putin. These fires are achieving their goal. These fires basically have three purposes. First of all, these fires are scaring the oligarchs who support Putin. This is leading to a decline in their support for Putin. Putin is becoming more and more isolated in Russia. The second aim of the fires is to affect the Russian economy. These fires in busy spots and famous shopping centers in Russia cause the Russian people to panic. As a result, the Russian people stay away from the crowded places and do not go to shopping centers. The decrease in consumption in Russia seriously affects the economy. Many stores in Russia's famous shopping centers have gone bankrupt. As a result, many people become unemployed. The situation causes the Russian people to be more angry against Putin. The third purpose of these fires is to increase the anger of the Russian people against Putin. The most important duty of a state is to ensure the security of life and property of the people. The successive fires in Russia reveal that Putin's government is unable to ensure security in the country. The panic-stricken Russian people hold Putin responsible for this fear. These fires are thought to have been set up by a small anti-war rebel group in Russia. However, the Russian authorities make different excuses about each fire. The authorities claim that all fires are a result of different accidents. But no one believes this. This situation also shakes the trust in the Russian authorities. Fires in Russia are not only breaking out around Moscow. At the same time, fires are breaking out, one after another, in Russia's military depots in Ukraine. In these fires, the Russian army is suffering a serious loss of ammunition. The Russian Defense Ministry claimed that these fires were caused by cigarette butts. This statement became a joke all over the world. Ukrainian soldiers posted photos of the Russian bases they bombed and wrote notes like, "Someone dropped a cigarette butt again?" The mockery of the Russian army made Putin even more furious, because it was doing great damage to Russia's and Putin's reputation. However, Russia's biggest loss of reputation was due to the recent fire in the country. Thick black smoke was seen rising from the 5th floor of the Defense Ministry building on Zelenski Street in Moscow. The fire grew in a short time. This fire, which was seen from all over Moscow, was presented as breaking news in Russia. The Moscow Fire Brigade immediately mobilized to extinguish the fire. However, the fire on the 5th floor soon spread to other parts of the building. The Moscow Fire Brigade managed to extinguish the fire after hours of work. But in the meantime, everyone in Russia was talking about this fire. This fire soon became news all over the world. Those who saw this news thought that the Russian Defense Ministry had been hit by the Ukrainian army. Rumors spread that Putin had suffered a major defeat. But the fire was not the result of a military operation by the Ukrainian army. So what caused this fire? Putin's government is reluctant to share transparent information on this issue. Therefore, it is not possible to know the exact facts. But the local press in Russia is making some claims. According to local media, many bureaucrats in the Russian Defense Ministry do not support Putin's aggressive policies. These bureaucrats think that the Russian army should withdraw from Ukraine as soon as possible. In particular, it was mentioned in the Russian press that many senior commanders had repeatedly called Putin on this issue. The Russian press says that this fire may also be related to this discussion. Allegedly, this fire was set by people working in the Ministry of Defense. The fact that the fire broke out in a meeting room strengthened these allegations. Defense Ministry officials had been meeting for long hours, trying to implement a new strategy in Ukraine. As you know, the Ukrainian army is putting up a historic resistance against the Russian invasion attempt. The Russian army has been trying to capture the Ukrainian city of Bakhmut for about 8 months, but without success. This meant that the Russian army needed a new battle plan. Senior commanders in the Ministry of Defense spent hours studying a map of Ukraine. As a result of this work, new places where the Russian army would attack Ukraine were identified. These locations were marked on the map. However, shortly after the meeting ended, a fire broke out in this room. In the fire, the map caught fire. The Russian army's attack plans were lost. This incident brought time for the Ukrainian army. This claim in the Russian press is quite shocking, but also very realistic. But this is not the only allegation. Some Russian journalists claim that the fire was set by a cleaning lady working in the Ministry of Defense. Allegedly, the cleaning lady's son was wounded in this war. The woman was furious. She decided to burn down the area she was assigned to clean. It is not possible to confirm these allegations in the Russian press and social media. However, the fact that there was a big fire in the Russian Ministry of Defense is a fact known by everyone. The Russian government statement on this issue is curious. On the other hand, security measures have been increased in other public institutions in Russia. Russian administrators are worried about the possibility of a new fire. It is known that Putin is quite harsh on this issue. It is known that Putin wants all measures to be taken to prevent a new fire. Russian police are conducting identity checks in different parts of the country. What do you think about the successive fires in Russia? Do you think these fires are affecting the course of the war? What do you think is the source of the fires in Russia? What do you think about the Russian government statements on this issue? Don't forget to share your opinions with us. Follow us